Welcome to the Transformers Reviewers Transformers Fan First Friday, May 2021 panel. And I'm joined here as with Beastio Yeti. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting a little feedback here.
That's all right. Go ahead.
I'm Bisto Yeti. You can find me on Bisto Yeti at YouTube and Instagram.
All right, and then over next we got Danny Dolphin. Introduce yourself, Danny.
You're muted.
Jeez. Oh, that's embarrassing. That's a flop. Okay. Okay, here we go. Take two. I'm Danny Dolphin on YouTube. Safest place on the internet to find me. And then OMG Danny Dolphin, like it's spelled right there, on Instagram. And those are the best places to find me for the toy and, whatever kind of geeky content. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, awesome. And then Fire Talks, where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me on Thingiverse mostly. I am your local plastic crack addict and dealer, and you can find me a little bit on YouTube, usually in other people's streams, and tiny little bits of content from myself. Biggest spot to find me is on Facebook at the page is called 3DP Transformers.
Awesome. And TF Collector, where can they find you?
Hey everyone, so I mainly do toy reviews and discussion videos on YouTube as TF Collector. I also have a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter account. You can also find me on three of the big fan websites, Sabertron.com, Tformers.com, and TFW2005.com as Lore Keeper.
Ooh. And unfortunately, Ninja Bill could not attend this show. Hopefully, we'll get him in next time. But I'm as your host, Crimson Raptors. Again, that's Crimson, like the dark red color. Raptors, Raptors. You can find me on Instagram, where I post next to almost nothing, but stuff's pumping on that. But also on YouTube, where I'm about to put out a teaser and a trailer for stop motion Transformers animation series, taking place before anything that's on Earth. So kind of before the cartoon, before Wheeljack and Bumblebee come out, find some energy conductors. You also can find me on Twitter, but again, I don't post anything there. But every time I post something, somehow it just blows up and just gets a lot of attention. I don't know why. That's Twitter. But that's where you can find us on here. Yeah, right?
Yeah, Twitter's dead.
So I'm kind of new to this hosting thing, and I didn't so reason why kind of everybody is kind of like a little off kilter, that's my fault, blame me, because I'm reading down the list of the notes and everybody's all kind of rearranged differently in what you're seeing there as the audience, so blame me. But yeah, so we'll kind of go over kind of what happened with what was revealed at the FanFest Friday, the panel that they had for the Transformer reveals, a lot of that stuff, and then we'll kind of go over like rumors, things like that. But that's some of the stuff is super exciting, and some of it was kind of like people were kind of a little confused why we didn't see this, why we didn't see that, even though there are leaks, even though there are photos of those leaks out there. But one thing we can talk about right now, anybody wants to chime in here as we're kind of going around here, is that Generation Select's Leader Class T-Rex is going to be a Target exclusive. Does that kind of anybody know about that?
Yeah, as far as we know, he's supposed to be Target exclusive in the U.S.
I think they said for Canada too, Toys R Us apparently now.
Yeah, because that makes sense, as it's a red colored Tyrannosaurus Rex, a red colored Transformer. So we've had Red Wing before, but it's just I don't know. I feel like they're harking back to that Beast Machines era of the T-Rex, and
yeah,
that's a dangerous path for Hasbro to go by. Anybody remember how bad Beast Machines was?
Yeah, I mean, for all the different franchises, I hear fans call for like a redo of, animated, all that. You never hear Beast Machines. It's like the one franchise that nobody ever requests to see
Yeah, some of the story isn't that bad though. It just the toys were god awful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate Beast Machines.
Yeah.
I just see it as a somewhat lesser sequel to Beast Wars, but
Yeah.
it's fine. But I also understand why it doesn't appeal to most Transformers fans because the designs are just bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I tried to rewatch Beast Machines like a month ago, and I couldn't do it. I just, with the animation being a little bit better than Beast Wars, but the story and the voice acting in it, just, I'd rather not watch it again and remember that.
Yeah, I think the deal with like Beast Machines for me was, I'd watched Beast Wars. Now, when I got introduced to Beast Wars, I didn't like it at all. I'm not a G1er, but I grew up with Generation 2, so I got those stories from the Cybernet Space Cube. So purple
G2.
camo was my go-to, right?
Yeah.
But seeing the Beast Wars, I was like, well, what is it? Why are they not vehicles? What's going on here? And so then we get, to the T-Rex that we're seeing here on the screen that, they were trying really hard to figure out some way with Beast Machines with the Maximal sales, the Maximal toys themselves, not doing very well because the characters in the story of Beast Machines were not the same written characters that were in the Beast Wars that got to reprise their roles. They were very different versions of those, almost like a Shattered Glass universe kind of, no pun intended, version of those characters. But I don't know. The T-Rex seems like the wrong direction to go, but it's a way to offer retailer exclusive. So
yeah, it's a good repaint for that thing. How are you going to repaint that anyways? So to sell it again and again and again.
Yeah, it'll be like Siege Meg.
Yeah, Siege Megatron.
Right?
I need another one.
What's funny is, why didn't we get like, we're using that, that T-Rex on it, does that open the door for more repaints of any dinosaurs to turn into the rest of the Beast Machines cast?
Yeah.
That they had. So,
they could retool Dinobot to be that, I forget what his name was, but like the dome-headed one.
Yeah, the Pachycephalosaurus.
Yeah, and the green guy, I can't think of what the actual character's name is. That'd be an easy retool. Like new dino head and new robot head, and there you go. Like that's all you need.
I think the American name we called him was, I think that was Hardhead.
Was it Hardhead?
Was it?
I thought I had a feeling, but I wasn't sure. But
yeah, Beast Wars Neo had a purple Pachycephalosaur, purple and turquoise.
Yeah, that was Hardhead, the purple and the turquoise one. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the one? Let's see. I'm trying to remember now. I don't even remember.
Yeah, a lot of the Beast Machines Dinobots will be hard to do because aside from like two of them, none of those old molds have been updated, right? You got like Magmatron, you got the Triceratops, and I don't see them doing that because they're not major Season 1 Beast Wars characters. So I don't see anything beyond T-Rex, really.
That's the problem. Will they even sell? So it makes sense they're doing a T-Rex as kind of exclusive just to test that, give a retailer something. And Target's been good for Transformers in a way, with the exception of thrust distribution, but that's on Target's side, and possibly most of them at the bottom of an ocean when the cargo container lifted over.
Yeah,
that's just speculation. Dinotron, that's what they call them. Dinotron. Yeah.
That's
really really cool color scheme though. Anyway, so the next one we had up is Transformers Shattered Glass Voyager Megatron. And so I'm not the biggest fan of Shattered Glass. I really know next to nothing about the Fun Pub magazines of the past for BotCon. However, this does look cool as a color scheme. What are you guys' thoughts on?
I like it for what it is. I know a lot of people are disappointed that it wasn't based off of like Galvatron. And if it had just been a recolored Siege Megatron without anything changed, I would have hated it. That would have been the laziest thing to me. So when I got more than I was expecting, I was pretty pleasantly surprised by that. The fact that they re-transformed his vehicle mode and added parts to make it something different. So I like it. You can't really get a spaceship mode out of the Kingdom Galvatron that would look anything close to Energon Megatron's mold. So I think this is the closest we can get.
Yeah, it's not bad. The only thing, like, it would have been cool if they did the Super Megatron. I know the scale would be a little different, but if they repainted that this color. But the thing I don't care about the spaceship mode and all these dumb pieces it comes with. But the only thing I wish they gave them a better head sculpt, like a little bit more softer Autobot face. You know what I mean? Because they did that on the Blur. They resculpt the head. If they just, to me, he looks a little too like still menacing and mean. You know.
I agree.
Well, they could have used that
but,
Combat Hero Megatron if they were going to use a siege mold. Use the Combat Hero Megatron head because
I do. I agree with the TF Collector, but like if they didn't like add that extra spaceship mode and an extra playability, and it was just the siege thing, that would have really sucked. So
yeah,
just not hyped on it myself, but at least they tried something.
Yeah,
I'll say that it looks like. Because he has that dark helmet, that I'm sure this will probably turn into a Marvel version of Megatron. People will use that because it does have a lighter tone to it, better to paint over. So I'm sure people probably will kit bash that or customize it to look more like the Marvel version.
I can see that.
Halfway there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the parts that are added on, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like a Siege Megatron with add-on parts, and they're charging us less than what we would pay for add-on parts, but they're charging us more than what we would pay for a Voyager. So go figure.
Who pre-ordered
but I know.
Did you, Crimson? Did you pre-order it?
So I couldn't get in on the $30 price. I think I pre-ordered it at $32 for the early bird or the late bird. I guess it would be a late bird price because now it's $38.99 at Hasbro Pulse. So
that price changed in my cart.
Oh man!
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's why I made those.
I'm paying that Canadian premium, so I just it's all just whatever. I just click and blindly click.
I am curious though that because the blue that's on the cannon tip, I wonder if that's going to be metallic blue or is that just a flat blue or a gloss blue. I wonder how that'll turn out. The pictures
looks like it's
make it look
like almost like an eggshell, or not an eggshell. It almost looks like it's got a pearlescent to it.
Yeah.
That's what it's kind of looking like. So, but all those clear parts, the blue canopy. I love clear parts, but the structural integrity of plastic for clear is kind of iffy. But I think the Super Megatron would have turned out better for this, but because you would have better alt modes to work with that Shatterglass Megatron. But I'd say that. I think somebody that's here in this panel did a better job at creating add-on parts for Siege Megatron to make this better. Is there anybody who wants to speak up and announce who they were? Larry Todd?
Wow.
Yep. way better. Way better than the official thing we're getting here. So, I like it. I want more toward this direction, but give me forearm fillers for my Megatron. Just give me redo of the whole forearm. Give me wrist swivel. Give me all that jazz. I will buy as many as these and rip them off and replace them on my Siege Megatrons. How about that? I'll do that 100%.
Actually, I like the figure. I like the color is why I pre-ordered it because I made all those parts as soon as I saw the thing and they changed the price on me in my cart. But I like the color of it. That's why after I made those, but I'm still buying it because that color next to, when I was looking at that picture next to the purple Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, which I thought was weird that in the panel they said our third or our, what was it? They said it was either their second or their third Shattered Glass. Like they didn't already have two before this. Which is kind of strange. Maybe they're only counting the ones that are coming with these comic books, or
and the packaging, maybe.
Maybe that's what I'm almost thinking. Packaging.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused because kind of what they're trying to do with that pack. So I know that comes with an exclusive comic that has an exclusive cover, and that's the main deal. Then eventually there's going to be one that comes with no comic. And it's just a regular whatever release it'll be eventually, but not like probably not an in-store release. It'll just be like probably an online exclusive or something like that. But that the comic is going to be something that's you're going to be able to get as a normal kind of IDW type release. It's just right now you're getting that comic with it, which I don't know if it's maybe the comics will hit before this does, but it comes with this one. The Megatron says comes with a second of a 5-issue IDW Shattered Glass miniseries with a Hasbro Pulse exclusive variant cover. But on their live stream a couple ways back, they said that it was going to have a hollow foil packaging. So, like, I'm a little confused. Like, I think they've just narrowed it down to the Hasbro Pulse variant cover. So, and it has some black lighting on it, a UV ultraviolet spot. So,
Yeah.
but otherwise, everybody else can get it. I know some people are upset because they're thinking the whole figure is exclusive to Hasbro Pulse, but it's a Hasbro Pulse variant cover. So that should clear up some of that confusion.
I wouldn't be surprised if the whole thing is a exclusive, and this is the only release they do.
Yeah, I've seen people worried about that because they've been asking is that the only place to buy it? And it is. So I know, and they're like, are they going to be valuable? I'm like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I see the select.
It has been up for pre-order on some UK.
It has?
Private. The normal online stores as well as UK Pulse as well. So it's not exclusive to Pulse over here anyway. So
yeah, I picked him up at GameStop.
Yeah.
In Hasbro Pulse exclusive whatever packaging, and he was just at GameStop for standard price.
Oh wow!
My GameStops never have Transformers. I've looked in there a few times. They never carry Transformer stuff.
I have 4
ours
GameStops.
Flooded with
only one of them
nothing
ever
but
has
Marvel
them.
Legend.
Yeah, the EB Games here has quite a bit still, so we're lucky. But
I remember that when it was here.
Yeah, I miss EB Games. They were great before GameStop bought them out here.
yeah, they're just a bit more chill, I guess.
Yeah. Better business practices too.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Struggling to stay afloat now.
Yeah, no, dying now, but.
So, right.
What did you
so
think
then the
about
next
the Megatron Bisto? Sorry, Eddie.
It's all right. I mean, Shattered Glass is one of those things where I really like all the Autobots becoming bad guys because they really go to town and give them goatees or skull faces or they go the extra mile. But I always find the Decepticons kind of it's all right. So I think I'm just going to pass on him. But I like it. I think it's goofy and it's goofy's good. But other than that, yeah, he's nice.
See, I just don't have any room on the shelf for an Autobot Megatron. He'll be all there, all by himself.
Sell some of those Gundams, boy. Yeah.
right.
I just hope they do a Shattered Glass Soundwave.
Yeah, because it'd be cool with Shattered Glass Soundwave and Starscream and Megatron. They'll all be white together in uniform. That's cool.
But they have to figure out a way to either mold it in or add Soundwave's
bandana,
the bandana that he has around his head.
Hell yeah,
that would be awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you think they would have opened with Soundwave and opened with Sideswipe because those are kind of the two most popular versions of the Shattered Glass timeline.
Well, if they would have used the Netflix Soundwave that no one could find, that they didn't release a non-Netflix version of, if they use that mold, which is probably what they'll do, if they would have made that the first Shattered Glass, it would have sold out instantly, just people wanting the mold. I don't really know why they started this wave outside of Optimus and
Ratchet.
Now, I don't know why they started with Blur.
It was a weird choice, yeah. He wasn't the biggest SG character.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe they
Blur,
just to get a repaint for that mold.
Wasn't it? The original Blur was after Armada, wasn't it? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was a recolor of the Cybertron Blur, which was itself a retool of Armada Blur, which is actually that's what they're going for with the new head on this one. If you look at it, it looks like the Cybertron Blur's head that they did for Shattered Glass. And I like it a lot more than the standard Studio Series one with the huge chin too. looks like the Tick or something with a big old.
Now I have to make him a spoon. Thanks.
Well, the next one we got going on here is this War for Cybertron Kingdom Voyager Maximal Grimlock and Deluxe Autobot Mirage, which they are considered as an Amazon exclusive part of their Battle Across Time set. So that's
but I seriously might cancel it. Every time I look at the pictures, I want to cancel it.
Yeah. The Mirage looks really good, but there's no shoulder cannon. The Dinobot, the Grimlock, looks amazing in the robot mode, but why did they not give me my Dalmatian Velociraptor? Like that's my favorite version of that mold from back in the day, and I don't know. He looks like he was sat on like a barbecue grill and stayed there a little too long, like sat upside down like a turkey. So I don't know quite what's going on there with it. I mean, the face looks cool, but I have so many issues with that mold. Like, I mean, this is not a Jurassic World Raptor. Like, you could have easily have just copied what Mattel done and given me like a ball jointed head at the least, but it doesn't swivel. It's missing teeth in the front. The jaw has an underbite. Why not use the T-Rex, turn that into a Grimlock, a Dalmatian Grimlock? They could have done that too, but it's not much of an homage, right?
I just think his head's misproportioned. It doesn't look right in robot mode on that body. It looks too big, and it looks like it's sitting up high. It looks like took something else's head, yanked it off, and stuck it on, and it doesn't quite work. The way that neck looks, I swear you can see the ball for the ball joint in that picture.
Yeah. Hopefully it looks better at different angles, because I noticed that too. It looks very detached.
Yeah, like because the bottom of that head is thinner than the Dinobot head version. He's got more of a helmet.
So. Oh yeah.
Yeah. My overall take on the set, I'm really disappointed the way it turned out, which I hate, because I was looking forward to a Beast Wars Grimlock once we got Dinobot. I'm like, oh, it's going to be the coolest thing. I always wanted that toy, but if you get it now, it just falls apart. And then I see it, and I'm like, this looks like a prototype.
Yep.
Like, it looks so unfinished. The color layout is terrible. How you get a hard transition from the upper to lower legs, from white to gray. I don't mind them changing the Dalmatian spots to more of a two-tone, because I get it. It looks a little more realistic. I don't mind that too much. But they did a really sloppy job with blending colors and making them, kind of stretching. The way you see it's got those side panels that form like the outer chest that are just straight white. So the color just cuts off again. It looks very unfinished and very lazy. And I'm hoping that the final product surprises us and we get better colors. I mean, it's happened before. I'm not going to, get my hopes up too much. Maybe it'll look more like the artwork, I hope. And then the Mirage looks good, except, again, for that whole not being able to mount a shoulder cannon. That seems like a really weird oversight. And it's like Hasbro's continuing trend of continuing to offer us toys that are like almost there, but never quite there. Where like you get Siege Mirage and robot mode looks good, but everyone's like, oh, but I don't want an alien car. And then you finally get an Earth car, and now the robot mode is compromised. And I kind of wonder if they just do that on purpose, just to keep you always chasing the best version.
Yeah. Well, it might be kind of like if it's not like it doesn't deteriorate on its own, right? They're doing it for the purpose of, kind of like, hey, like, well, there's this version. It's better than the last one. Mm-hmm. It's not quite perfect. Now you got to buy the masterpiece. That would be more kind of how it would go. But I don't understand the shoulder cannon thing either. And it just makes no, like you
just seems like a weird oversight.
It's cool in the vehicle mode with the side guns. I mean, that's very Generation 2 inspired. But I don't know. It's kind of strange. But I am curious as to how those legs right now, they look like they're solid blue plastic. I hope they're not clear and then painted to look like they're solid blue. But it'll be interesting to see that. I might have to rub that 26 off and just kind of repaint it, turn it into a slapdash maybe, because he does have a little more powerful looking engine. So
that's another thing that I find weird about Mirage. When you look at, he's got the 26 on the chest, which is supposed to be like a faux, vehicle front, but he doesn't have a 26 on the vehicle front. So what, like
that illusion?
Yeah, it's so weird, because the only reason he ever had a 26 on his chest was because it was the vehicle front. Mm-hmm. But now you're just kind of eliminating the whole purpose for that even being a detail on him in the first place. It's like, why? Either go all or go nothing. Like, don't make a number randomly appear on his chest for
Yeah.
no apparent reason. That's just
That's
dumb.
the worst continuity I've ever seen,
Yeah,
honestly. But I think
this
they
is just a
figured.
very sloppy exclusive. overall.
Yeah, that's
I hate it.
sloppy, dude. I can't believe you noticed that. Yeah, I'm just looking at that's horrific that they would do that. That's
I know.
so dumb.
Like, how do you overlook that? Like, either do it
Yeah.
on both or don't do it, because now he's just gaining a number on his chest for no reason.
Wow.
Weird.
And
Yeah,
it's not
the-
even Cybertronian. I want it
Yeah.
Cybertronian.
Yeah.
That font's awesome.
But yeah, the artwork for the Grimlock looks amazing on the box, and yeah, I see the Grimlock. I do like the head sculpt, but yeah, I agree. Like, it looks too like high on the neck or whatever. Hopefully they fix it. I want to like the Grimlock because I love the original toy, still have it. So, you know, and I want to like it as much as possible. But yeah, it's kind of hurting. Like, this color scheme looks, yeah, like you said, prototype-ish and
Yeah.
disappointing. But yeah,
I like how they're
Artwork looks
showing.
great though. The box
I
looks
like how
awesome.
they're showing. Yeah, because I like how they have Waspinator in the background. You know, like they keep teasing him like this was our second tease of that, or third. No, this is our third tease from the promo the promotional poster that we were not supposed to see. But on the back of this artwork, yeah, you'll see Waspinator there behind Mirage on the right, and then I think we saw him again was on Black Arachnians, or was that Dinobot? So Waspinator is on somebody else's package. I forget who.
Look how much better Grimlock looks on that artwork. Like the
Oh,
chest.
yeah.
He's got the green
Yeah.
eyes. He's got the red around the little dino, like the robot ribs going on. Like, why did we not get that?
I like that
I'm
he's
so
more
upset.
metallic gray and silver looking.
Yeah.
Look at the figure, and it's just that kind of nasty white.
Yeah.
Probably what the toy originally looked like, and then the bean counters came in and they're like, "Ooh, we need to scale back on that paint budget there, fellas." So they just like took half the paint off the toy.
Yeah.
And that just looks terrible. I will say that the upside to having those side chest panels being white, it does make a more realistic robot or beast mode, because now he doesn't have
It's a more
painted
unified-
eyes on his legs and stuff.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
a more
it does look.
You know,
It does look much, much better. And somebody has joined in the conversation, Mr. Ninja Bill. Introduce
guy.
yourself. Where can they find you, man?
I'm Ninja Bill. Where can people find me? On YouTube here is Ninja Bill Reviews. Don't use my Twitter anymore. Don't use Instagram anymore. Find me on Discord at Ninja Bill. Facebook is Shinobi Biru. It's mostly things I use. I haven't been very active last couple of week or so, but I generally am active on there, and I'm glad to join the show. So
Yeah, valuable discussion. We've gone past the Select Generation Selects Leader class T-Rex, the Target exclusive, the Beast Machines homage, and the Shattered Glass of Megatron.
I came in the tail end of the discussion on the Dinobot Mirage, and I like the Mirage better, to be honest. I have only bought one of the Kingdom Beast Wars figs, and that was Airraiser, and that was really the only one I was looking to ever get. The rest of them I'm just not interested in getting. I passed on many of them. Prime, Megatron. I've passed on most of them, except for Airraiser. It's the only one I wanted, because as much as I love the original figure, I have almost the entirety of the original Beast Wars, Beast Machines line, and Transmetals, all of them. So, I'm not really looking to replace them, but that Airraiser, the original Airraiser toy was a fail. It didn't look anything like Airraiser from the show, and this one really does. So, the others, were fairly representative of the characters at the time, so I'm happy with them. But I do like that Mirage, because the only Mirage I ever found was the Decepticon version, the Netflix Decepticon version. So the only reason I would buy that is simply because I would like to have, a Autobot Mirage.
Yeah.
But I do like the unified look of that Dinobot, as TF Collector was just mentioning with the side panelings. It's a more unified look, more cohesive, and I enjoy that. Let's hope they just do that.
Well, that the Airraiser, and kind of going to your point there, the Airraiser is a really good figure. I would recommend the Black Arachne as well. But I definitely see how you're looking at the other Beast Wars figures, or whether if you already have all of them, right? Like. It's kind of like those are your figures, those are your versions of those characters as opposed to these. But I would recommend the Black Arachne as well if you find her.
Mm.
So, but yeah, this Mirage, I'm really, I'll
Awesome.
probably steal his weapons and give them to other Autobots. That'll get slagged. So, but I don't know. The chest is really weird with the whole design. You can tell it's painted, painted white on blue plastic, which never looks good.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that turns out. But anyway, I think he's different enough that if they made him, I don't know, we got a Crosshairs, could we get a Slapdash? Could we get a Joyride? Could we get one of those, the Power Masters or Target Masters, those other kind of, Jeep, Dune Buggy, F1 racer kind of things? Can we do something toward that direction? I hope they would do that. But this is, again, it's an Amazon exclusive, so that does give more hope of, as they charge Amazon and Target and everything for their exclusives more for the molds that they've already made, and they retool them, then hopefully that opens the door up for different characters too. So, now the next one on our list is what? Go ahead.
Well, one thing I was just looking at, because I'm looking at the box on my Amazon pre-order, and if you look at the box and you look at Mirage's right hand on the box, and you'll notice there is a pair of wings. And the last Amazon exclusives, if you took the boxes and you set them next to each other, it made an entire picture, which makes me wonder if we're not going to see a repaint of AirRaiser, or if at some point we're not going to get something else that might be a retool that would have white wings.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the Skywarp from Beast Wars the Second, which is just the Japanese version of the name Silverbolt that we got with the Magnabot for Beast Wars. Yeah, that's true. That was the other half. Good catch on that, man. Good catch. Because that is the other part of that kind of fold out battle across time. So that kind of makes you wonder what's gonna come with that Silverbolt / Skywarp. Is it going to be, what other characters could they use? Would it be a Siege mold retool, or would it be maybe an Earthrise Mirage? That would kind of work out with that. With your air and your ground.
You mean Sideswipe?
Sideswipe would work too, and Earthrise Sideswipe would work too. That's good catch. Almost missed that.
Yeah, I know Sideswipe was one of the leaks, and I think based on the leak, he's been paired with different characters. Skywarp was one of them at one point, and then I think there was a different one too, and I can't think of who the other person was that he was paired with. I was a Night Prowler, the Cheetor repaint.
Ooh.
So
yeah.
I don't know which one's true, which one's right, but
Well, it could be both with Sideswipe, innit?
well, I mean, if
They
it's
could do a
it could be a
GT.
3-pack.
They
Yeah,
could do
it
a
could be a
GT Sideswipe with Night Prowler, when you've got two black figures in a box.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
G2.
Which would kind of match this box having the two very white figures next to it.
Right? Kind of like a stealth version.
Yeah, it could be 3 deluxes instead of a Voyager and Deluxe, and then I could see all 3 of them coming together. That'd be cool. I'd buy it.
Oh, help us if they put a Battle Master in there for no reason.
I gotta say one thing about them including like a Beast Wars Skywarp. It's cool because it's not something I'd expect, but it's kind of hope crushing because that means like there's no Magna Boss coming. Like if there was a chance of there being a Magna Boss, the fact that they have a non-combining Skywarp /
And
Silverbolt,
Tripedicus.
yeah, like that's a letdown because like I would have loved. I have Magna Boss. He's great, but he's also kind of a brick. I would love like a nice, well-proportioned, posable Magna Boss toy.
Yes, and a Tripedicus, and this I'm right there with you. I was kind of like, oh no, it's kind of a letdown because I was hoping that they would bring that about. Even I was kind of hoping what would happen, even if they released a box set as an exclusive individually, they would release like as deluxe figures or whatever it was going to be, individually packaged or boxed and then sold that way. But yeah, it's looking like it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've had them just using. Let's say if they do call it the Japanese name of Skywarp, then that's a trademark saving move because now here they got like it's like Skywarp's coming up for his trademark. I mean, the Earthrise one was a Target exclusive, but it's at all possible to
Do
kind
they
of keep
have
that
those
up.
Mega Boss and all those trademarks still?
I don't know about Magnavox itself.
The components would have the
Yeah.
trademark still, but yeah, Magnaboss, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Megaboss. No, they the U.S. versions retained Skywarp, Ironhide, and
Oh,
Prowl for
Well,
and
Silverbolt. It was Silverbolt.
Silverbolt.
Cyanide.
Yeah, and so, but Magnaboss itself, I don't know. And Tripedicus, I have never seen them use it except for once. I think they used it for some sort of Beast Machines.
Yeah, Tripredicus Agent is what.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There is that BotCon, but that if I understand correctly, the BotCon ones also help with the trademark, but not. So I've never really gotten confirmation on.
Yeah, I don't know
That
how to
doesn't
work either.
I was just thinking about that because they had Predicus, so it's not really Tripredicus, and they did have a Magnaboss, but instead of an actual figure, you just slapped stickers on existing figures. So I don't know if them just including him in the promotional material was enough to keep that trademark or not.
Yeah, most of the Creos were done, like some of the odd names, odd colorations were done to keep those trademarks because it was just they still have to pay for it, but at least it was a way to keep it alive without having to make a whole new figure.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian. See you in chat there.
Oh, T-Fan Page 101's in chat. Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at these notes and other stuff in the picture, so it's hard for me to keep up with the chat. So if you guys see it, definitely announce it. But yeah, so the next one we got up is the Generation Selects Voyager Artfire, which kind of was already eased from us because Inferno, the Kingdom Inferno, came with gray wings, gray hoses, and those are a G1 styling of the actual Artfire, and so it's kind of strange that got spoiled, of course, that way with that release because otherwise they would just have been white plastic.
We all saw this one coming. We all saw this one coming.
I mean, we had Ricochet back.
Who...
So with that, what was it? The Power of the Primes Jazz. We had that Ricochet made. We may get a new one with Studio Series, but they were both good partners, Artfire were. So
now all we need is some Auto Troopers.
I'd buy them.
Right?
I'd buy them too. I would. You darn right, I would buy some Auto Troopers. Heck yeah, to go with Artfire. The only thing I don't like about this mold, and I've said it with the Grapple, and I've said it with the Inferno mold, is I don't. And this is just, I'm tired of lowriders. I just wish, that 1.5 millimeter ground clearance is killing me with these toys. It's killing me. That's the only thing I dislike. But man, I love how it looks. I would have probably liked to have more silver than gray color. But I dig it. I like it. He looks very much like he, stepped off a screen or something. Although Artfire didn't really have any screen time that I'm aware of.
Yeah, no, not even the Japanese side.
Yeah, just comics, comics and manga.
So I think they probably could, since it's sort of going to be sort of an exclusive type of thing. I think they should have gone with silver instead of just plain gray. But still, I like it. A different weapon would kind of been okay, but it is what it is, and I like it overall. I don't know about anybody else, but I dig it.
Oh, I like it. I'm really happily surprised that they included the Target Master because Ricochet was one of the very first Generation Selects they ever did. In fact, I can't remember if it's him or Red Swoop that came first. It was like right around the same time.
Yeah,
and Ricochet was just a straight repaint. There was no Target Master, even though Siege was already planned out and they had the molds. And that gave me a really kind of bad taste for Selects. Like the first two Selects offerings were weak. Ricochet, you had a guy that had no Target Master, and then the Red Swoop, they made him red, but then they made the gray all the wrong color, so he didn't match Volcanicus anyway, and it was just...
Yeah, but most people
it was a very weak
Ricochet.
showing. Oh, yeah, I mean, I love it. I have them, but I hate that he didn't have a Target Master, and I thought, oh, man, they're going to be cheaping out. So, yeah, it's good to see how far they've come where they're actually taking risks. And, like you're saying with the SG Megatron, now they're adding accessories, which I think is a great step up. And I kind of see it. Red Selects was new, and maybe they weren't, willing to invest a lot till they were sure it's sold, and now it's become, very popular overall. So I'm happy to see that evolution there.
What's funny about that Generation Selects Ricochet is that you could get it, easily $20 shipped. No shipping on it, nothing like that, just $20. And so now I wonder, with the official announcement of this Artfire nightstick, that they'll actually go ahead and start selling those out. If not, then maybe people are holding out for a Studio Series Jazz redeco into
Ricochet repaint. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. No, that would, in my mind, I never picked up any of the other Ricochets, but if there was a Studio Series version released, that would interest me.
Yeah, they'll repaint that mold for sure. I bet you.
I love the blue windows that are on this cab, and I wish they had kind of done it that bright blue for Inferno and Grapple. So I have one on pre-order for Artfire, but I didn't think about that till just now. I was looking at these beautiful pictures on Hasbro Pulse. But now I kind of want to buy a couple more so I can cannibalize them.
You guys gonna say you're sleeping on this? You're buying one? That's so unlike you.
I know, that is very unlike. Usually I get multiples because there's so many.
Jeez, man, you're slipping these days.
Control,
Yeah, no.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to get.
It looks cool though. Like I'm biased of the white and the red because of Canada, but I mean, I never got the masterpiece of this guy. That was really cool because I just didn't have any. I was like, I can't buy this if I have no attachment to the character for masterpiece. And like, this is a nice Generations one to hold. I mean, I knew a little about him, but like, you didn't hear much back in the day about this guy. You just knew he was like one of the impossible guys to get. I don't even think it was in North America. The original G1 toy.
It wasn't here.
To be Brickbot mentions.
No, go ahead, Ninja.
Oh, I was going to say, KR Brickbot in chat said, fun fact, Masterpiece Artfire and MP36 Primal were one of the few MPs officially sold at Hasbro Korea. And I was not aware of that, so good info.
Yeah, it was on Big Bad Toy Store for a long time, but I was just like, I can't buy this as well. Like, if I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
But now I want it. It's probably gone up in price now. Damn it!
Beto, Yeti, what's your thoughts on this, on the Artfire? Did you get that? You didn't get that on your side.
He's not really. I'm not attachment to Artfire, so I'm kind of I'm passing on this one. I think Ricochet, when you look at him, he looks like a completely different character, doesn't he, than Jazz?
Yeah.
Whereas Artfire just looks like Inferno in a white t-shirt. So I've kind of
it's the same thing.
As some trainers.
Inferno in a white.
Yeah.
White Peter. That's great.
If they put Holler out, which I imagine they could make a Generations, it'd basically be the Hulk in Inferno's clothes.
He's got some.
If you get Holler in there,
some blue stain, so he's been eating some blueberry snow cones or something all over his shirt. So
he's got to be like the annoying green, the one that messes with your camera.
Mm-hmm.
I will say
absolutely.
I am shocked that he's coming with two pairs of blast effects, and if this is for Generation Selects going forward, I am all for more blast effects. I prefer Decepticon pink and Autobot orangey yellow, but these blue ones look really cool, especially for like the little welding torches and stuff that work really well for or even Blue Streaks weapons. So this would I'm glad they're putting in effects. I hope they're not just doing it because there's a Battle Master in it. Because the original G1 came with one Battle Master, but I guess a convention exclusive came with two Battle Masters. But I'm glad that they're giving you two pairs of blast effects. It just looks cool. So okay.
KR Brickbot also says the Shattered Glass cons seem to have affected the sales for the Slex SG sets. So,
I can see that.
Like positively or negatively?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
But the next one we got coming up here is the Studio Series 86 liter Slug, but it's really Slag and Daniel.
Let's go ahead and call it Slag.
Yeah, we're gonna call it Slag. Yeah.
The early listing said Slag, so I thought maybe they finally got over themselves with that.
Yeah, because this thing is beautiful, gorgeous.
Oh yes.
I'm like, the Daniel's terrible, but that's all right. We'll get.
Well, you know what? Daniel's better than Wheelie.
I fixed it.
He's better than Wheelie. He's
yeah.
at least better. He's better than Wheelie. I mean, yes, it's kind of the same thing, but
yeah, I was gonna say they're the same. Yeah,
but he's better than Wheelie.
Yeah.
Fire Talks is showing
Fire
up.
Talks,
Already done.
Yeah, this is a huge boom because we're getting an actual cartoon version of Slag with the red head, and it's just like this is what we wanted. This is both Generations and kind of a masterpiece. If you scale down your Dinobots, it's kind of a masterpiece scale.
Yeah.
I think the Giga Power Dinobots are masterpiece and Generation scale, but this works too, depending on whatever episode you're looking at.
Yeah,
But
I was
this
thinking the
Slag
same
is
thing.
gorgeous.
I was thinking the same thing. Is rather than Takara releasing masterpiece Dinobots, we're getting these, and I'm all in on Dinobots.
Okay with
They're the Studio Series Dinobots. Thanks to Darth Ravage 077 me Grimlock. Once I've played around with him and I've just looked at it, and I'm like, okay, yes. And then when they announced Slag or Slug or whatever you want to call him, I'm just like, yep, gimme.
Thing that worries me is what they said on Friday when they were talking about the Dinobots. At one point, he says, "One more to go for the original trio," and then I thought about it.
Yeah,
You've got
no
Daniel, and then they literally reused the Daniel for the next one and make that Spike. They may stop at Dinobots.
Yeah, I don't
shot.
think that's going to happen. My concern would be the lack of Snarl the Stegosaurus, because he was in the movie. He didn't fight Devastator. He didn't smash up any Sharkticons, but he was on the Quintesson ship when they were in robot mode behind Hot Rod and Cup when they were spinning around down on the planet of Junk. If you pause it and you see him for even
he's
2
there.
seconds. And then when Galvatron comes in and, with his Decepticons and they're attacking Autobot City the second time, or the first time with Galvatron, but the second time for Decepticons, then you see Snarl running around because Daniel's right there next to him. So Snarl is in the movie. There is actually a reason why he wasn't. They had lost, and I try to say this so people have this information, why he was left behind. They had lost his character model sheet. And because they lost, the character model sheet is a reference for different angles, color, what the color they're supposed to use for models. They can't just go to a VHS at the time or, whatever, and just like, oh, let me just pause this or whatever. They can't do that kind of thing, or they didn't have that kind of technology, right? So nobody knew how to draw a Snarl. So without that reference sheet, they didn't put him in. But if you watch the movie if you watch how the Dinobots are oriented on Prime's shuttle, and when they jump out, he's
there.
Grimlock, is in front. He's leading the charge. Then you have Sludge and Slag. They're right behind him in tandem. You'll notice they're different animation cells because they're making a move 3 different ways. Grimlock's on one, Sludge and Slag on another, and Swoop is by himself. But if you notice, there's a room for a 5th Dinobot in case they ever found that character model. They could put him right on Swoop's animation cell and slide them together. But they didn't find it in time, and you'll notice that's how that works. But he was left out of the script because they thought they were just, Dinobots, 4 of them are there, whatever.
But this Slag himself, I even like, I've heard some people complaining about the faux chest piece, with the mouth in there, but I think that's a brilliant idea.
Absolutely.
I think it works really well because it enables them to do more with the actual dino head than having that also be a chest piece as well. So I think that works really well. Yeah, that faux chest that's right there. I think that works really, really well. The only thing I complain about really is the missing gold.
Yeah, see, look at the
Yeah.
Dinobot jaw
Yeah.
in the cartoon is yellow, the gold color, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
it can't be the real thing because in the cartoon that was silver because that's the how the toy was with the silver mouth.
Yeah.
So
And the only thing I'd really complain about is the robot head I think is missing some white on it. But that's just my personal, and some more gold around that head right there. But that's just me. I think it's missing some white on there. That's just me being nitpicky. But otherwise, I think he looks fantastic.
I think that weapon storage for his tail is
the blaster.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
super smart. Because it integrates really well with it. And I love how Beast Wars has influenced all through these years for weapon storage, and I love seeing that with my Generation 1 figures.
So talking about the
Yeah.
talking about the fake chest, generally I kind of lean against fake parts. I'm not a huge fan of that. But I will say, if you're going to do it, this is really the way to do it, because you'll notice that his lower jaw is nowhere to be seen in that robot mode. Because I think one of the worst things you can do is have the fake parts and the actual kibble visible at the same time. That just defeats the whole purpose. And, like a lot of the recent War for Cybertron toys are really guilty of that, where they'll have like fake parts and then just have like a big backpack where they toss the actual stuff. At least with him, it tucks away inside neatly. You can't see it. So you can at least maintain the illusion that, that's supposed to be the lower jaw, just color change.
Looking at it, it looks like his chest, if the faux chest opens up, then that opens up and then the Dinobot maw comes down into it and then the robot head flips around, or it goes the other direction. So when you push the mouth inward, because it's got like an overbite, if you push that inward, there is enough clearance that it could go back and just pop that head back out the other way. But
maybe just swings all the way up inside. I can see that.
Yeah,
I watched a video of the transformation. It disappears inside of the chest cavity.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but the horns, they're a little hollow, but it's a little bit of hollowness. People fix that right away, and then of course we got Fire Tox is already on Daniel. So any problems we would have had with this, other than maybe paint and detailing here and there, looks like most of those are resolved. What were you gonna say, Beasto?
I think it looks great. But my issue is because I'm I had Slag as a toy. I received it as a birthday once. We're in England. I'm 8 years old. I'm telling everyone I got Slag for my birthday. Doesn't go down well, but he always has. You were excited for very much. Reason. Yeah, I've always. That toy went everywhere with me. So when we get to cartoon accuracy, I'm always a bit, I'm feeling like real.
You like the toy look. Yeah.
They actually had this in Canada, the red-headed one, though.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine Takara, when they release it, will have probably more toy-like colors. I'm thinking, because they typically do. Takara.
Premium line. They'll put it in the premium line. You can buy it for $40 extra.
There'll be a $400 box.
Yeah, $400 premium edition, baby.
I'm getting real FOMO with this one. So it's like, am I going to buy it and just keep it in the box until they've released all the other Dinobots? I might just keep him in the box and just be like, right, are they going to release a toy accurate version or not? And then
that's probably how it'll go.
Flip
it. I'll buy it too.
I forget.
You buy so many of them, Crimson. You buy like 6.
Yeah, was the premium line on the agenda for tonight? I can't remember. If not, we should really talk about that real quick.
I'll say
I don't know.
They do the toy and the cartoon, then at least Generations is cheap enough where you can do a Dinobot in a robot mode for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Anthony didn't put it in the notes. Damn.
Yeah, I don't think so. What do you guys think of the premium finish line?
I'll care if they did if they made Galvatron that darker bluey purple and they said buy it in the premium edition line, kind of like the old style. I'd be interested, but the figures they showed, the Bumblebee and the Optimus Prime, doesn't interest me at all. But I know they'll have me when they show a figure that I really want, like done the way like you think in your head, or like close enough, right? Like like a cool sound wave done or something, or a sound blaster, something like that'll get your attention. Then I could see them. Like I'll be dishing out the money.
I'm right there with Danny. It didn't grab me at all. I was like, okay, well those are cool, but I don't need it. I don't
It
need it.
reminds me of back when people used to go out of their way to buy the Takara versions because of paint jobs. They put a stop to that and made everything the same, and now they're doing this.
They're kind of just finding ways to go back to doing things their old way.
Right.
Yeah, between like Generation Selects on Takara side, this new premium thing.
Yeah.
They're right back to like Unite Warriors and Legends. Like, almost like another way.
Them just smashing out a repaint. I saw so many people excited about it too. Like I was talking to him, like just when I was out shopping and stuff, and like the one guy was so stoked on it, and I was like, really? Like you're that hyped on this? Another Siege Optimus Prime being repainted?
Yeah. See, I think they're cool.
Yeah,
like, paint jobs are nice, but I think it's too little, too late. Like, okay, yeah, we finally get the Optimus with the cracked green windshield, but like after. What, 2 versions of that have already, and then you had the Netflix one, which had the colors right, but then you used the wrong mold for some reason.
Yeah,
and it's like I'm not buying another one, especially not for import prices.
I don't care.
And
done caring about that mold.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Yeah,
that's all I was saying. I'm done caring about that mold now. I've got 6 trailers.
Exactly. Yeah, I got them all piled up there. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I was gonna say TF Collector. I think I've seen you in another like one of these before, and like I think you said you're like aren't you a completionist kind of? So does this make you want
more or
you
less
can't buy one without them all, or?
Yeah, I mean, I generally lean toward being a completionist on most things, but sometimes like something like this, I can't unless they show us something that is just so different from what came before it. I can't imagine paying. I mean, what is it, like $60-something for that Optimus, or $70?
Yeah,
it's
without
not
shipping.
Worth it.
Without shipping.
Yeah, without like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It would have been cool if they had shown these off around the time that the regular versions came out, to where you had a choice of which one to get. But I'm several versions in now. I'm not buying this again. Like, there's no way.
I know it's sneaky to throw this in after they've repainted these molds so many times.
Yeah. I would have bought this as the definitive one when that mold was first coming out, but I'm not that rich. I can't.
Or even a year after, but here it is, what, 2.5 years later?
Yeah. We're almost at the end of the trilogy now, and they want us to go back and do it again for an upcharge? Like, no.
Yeah. Like Fire Talk said, he's stacking trailers. Yeah, I'm stacking trailers. Yeah.
Well, I'll say that it doesn't make any sense that it's, $53+ for this Voyager. Because that's not really making. I mean, it doesn't come with a trailer. It's just the Prime, and it's got some extra paint on it, maybe, but it's all supposed to be a limited edition. So it makes sense that it's more expensive because it's a limited production run, but then they're not even advertising that anywhere. So, because now it's just like, oh, well, Hasbro Pulse, like, hey, we want to carry it too. Like, oh, well, we'll have to have a bigger production run. Okay, well, then we'll keep charging the same price. So, I mean, I'm in it. I'm getting it. But
we knew you
would.
You're getting this?
For sure.
Oh my god!
I hated the green. I hated the green windshields. I hated the greenish eyes that they put in the show. That's not Prime. It should always be blue, 100%. Orange if they want to homage the G1, but care less about that. I want blue windshield. That's what the cartoon had. That's what the movie had. But I'm getting it because it's a cartoon accurate Siege Prime. That's how they roped me in, okay? Plus, I'm curious to check it out, too.
See, for collecting right now,
mold. It's my favorite.
For collecting right now, I'm pretty happy with the bots I have. I've almost completed what I want for my G1 bots and cons. I'm pretty satisfied, and this is just something that just does not grab me. And as far as the movie bots go, I only like select few of those toys, and even the Studio Series. Some of them are great, but the 86 ones, I've gotten those simply because, again, the movie. But I'm getting to the point now where do I need another Optimus Prime, Siege Optimus Prime? Do I need another? I mean, that very much Optimus Wilbur. If you're watching, I haven't seen you in chat, but he got me the Kingdom Prime, and I'm starting to get satisfied with the bots and cons I have on the shelves now. They're starting to look great, and I'm not sure I need another version, as everybody else is saying, of an older Prime. I have 2 Siege Prime toys now. I don't need another one. I don't.
Yeah.
So this is an easy pass, and like that Bumblebee, also an easy. I was never a fan of that mold in the first place, so it's easy pass for me. Doesn't grab me. And Takara is doing this thing. Well, it's great that you guys have all this, but oh wait, it's our market. We'll do what the hell we like. And if people don't like, if people buy it, great. If people outside of Japan buy it, great. If not, we don't care. That's Takara all day long. They care about the Japanese market. They don't. If it sells elsewhere, hey, more money in their pocket. But they're not marketing to us. They've never marketed to us. So.
Well, not Takara themselves, yeah. But,
Yeah,
you know,
Takara
Hasbro
just-
does, for sure.
Yeah, Hasbro's trying to pull in some of that, but I don't know.
I'll be crying
Yeah,
when
I
they
think-
do something that I want, though. That's the issue. Like, once they do a figure that I'm kind of interested in, that'll make me mad.
I mean,
Really
I-
will.
Yeah.
you know, like I'll say on here, like, you know, you mentioned, you know, you don't need another Optimus Prime. I'm looking at 6 of them right now just
Oh.
around me, and that's not even all of them. So I got a Siege, 3 Earthrise. I can see an Eyeshot, and then I got the little core class guy in his box, and then the purple Prime. So it's I don't know. Optimus Prime is one of those I can just keep on there. Do what?
Keep going, Fire Talks. Keep going.
I'm trying to count all of. Like, I have 2 of the dead primes because of the damn Toy Hack set that made him monster. So I have more trailers.
Right.
And then Toy Hacks comes out with the Nemesis set
Yeah, the Nemesis set,
stickers
yeah.
that for Shattered Glass Prime. So you have to have
by the way-
another Nemesis trailer to make a Shattered Glass trailer.
By the way, they have Toy Hacks
And-
has
and
Generation
Larkin-
2 trailer stickers, so
And
everybody's got to go get those.
And Larkin showed off earlier. He showed off a 3D printed set that he was making for the G2 Prime Black trailer. And so there you go. There's a.
Yep.
And I'm just like, oh, my wallet.
And now
my
that
aching
spoiler
wallet.
pack, and now that Nemesis spoiler pack is sold out everywhere. So great.
Yeah.
Now we can't make another G2 trailer.
Yep.
But the next one we have on the list here, because we're kind of pressed for time,
No.
but we got Studio Series 86 Deluxe Sharkticon by his Decepticon G1 name of Gnaw. And this was a shock to pretty much. We knew there was a new Sharkticon coming in the rumors and leaks, but there wasn't. Well, I'll say Sharkticon in the rumors, but it wasn't leaked that we were 100% getting this figure. And that's a pretty cool looking Sharkticon, I gotta say. Better than the Cyberverse one. Better than the Cyberverse one. Not a retool of it.
Hey, I
not
like
a
the
retool of
Cyberverse
that.
one.
Well, it had a lot of hollow parts. That's why I didn't like that one. This one
I
doesn't
liked
seem to have any of that unless it's behind the legs or
I
something.
love the teeth.
Oh yeah, the teeth are awesome. The
Teeth.
little
It's the teeth that's selling me for this. It's the teeth. The rest of it, I was like, okay, I'm happy with what I got. But then those teeth, man, those teeth. I was just like, oh.
we're back to
Yeah.
we're back to little hollow forearms on it, but you know it's a deluxe, so they whatever. But I like the little feelers that are on the bottom of the shark's teeth that turn into kind of like spiky horns in his
Yeah.
robot mode. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. I
Anybody
think
thought?
overall, he looks great. I think the shine on the shark eyes as well, it comes out really well.
The gold.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's a beautiful round boy, and you know it feels good to be represented in a toy form. So it was an instant pre-order.
If there's any criticism I have of this, something about the robot face I find to be a little off, and I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's too white.
Yeah.
It
looks really
kind of
cutesy, too.
Wide.
it kind of gives me the same vibe that like Studio Series Blur and Cup do, where it just seems off from how it should.
It's too wide.
Yeah, I think too wide and flat.
Yep.
Because I'm looking at like the head
Cyberverse.
turned
That's
on,
one thing
and his head looks so much better.
The Cyberverse one actually did a really excellent head mold. It's excellent head mold. I think is the best of all the Gnaws released so far. I think the Cyberverse one nailed it, and this one
it does look good. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, this one is a little wide, little squat. But the rest of the figure, I think it works really, really well. I like the colors. The paint apps I hope we'll get that we see here is going to be on it, and they don't shortchange us because it looks pretty good as is. And again, it's the teeth that's the selling point for me. It's just I saw those teeth in the first released images, and I was like, oh yeah, no, that's a Sharkticon. That's menacing. He can just sit on the shelf and look like he's about to crunch something. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at a shot of, and of course I can't show this because it'd probably get Anthony in trouble on the channel. But I'm looking at a shot of the Transformers the movie when they transform into robot mode, and I'm looking at this deluxe Gnaw, and I see what you're saying, TF Collectors, that it's the eyes are very huge, almost Megatron-like on the Studio Series, and the actual film, the eyes are very small, very cup. Like Studio Series Cup, they look kind of like that. So that's where a big difference there. I also noticed that there's only 3 teeth on the movie version, but there's 5 teeth here on the chest, which is fine because it's.
Well, yeah, in the movie, the lower jaw kind of morphs and the teeth kind of recede a bit to where he's just got the 3 spikes, and that's something they obviously can't really replicate.
He's like wearing a collar of his teeth.
Yeah.
Right. I would much rather have it the way that they have it with Studio Series than have the 2 missing teeth in the
KO Brickbot in chat says, is it better than the Titans Return Gnaw? In my opinion, they're the same figure except for the mold changes. But I think this is the better looking. If you're going to get another Gnaw, this would definitely be the main Gnaw, and you can have the others as, your Sharkticon army. I think this is going to be your lead Gnaw from now on. If you
and much more accurate transformation too for both the old toy and the movie, where you got like the back of the shark head just kind of hanging back there as kibble. Titans Return, they kind of did their own thing, and the shark head becomes like the heel spurs, and I mean it's fine for what it is. The only thing I don't like about Titans Return is the fact that the hands don't tuck away in beast mode, which they finally fixed that.
Oh yeah.
Does the tail come off the Titans Return one?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like really dinky looking. It's really small, and he holds it like a gun instead of a whip. It's really weird.
That's why I don't remember it.
This new one's articulated.
Yeah, new one can actually wag a bit.
I'm super stoked for this. This is going to be.
What are you buying? 30 of them, or how many are you getting?
I cannot disclose that information at this time. No, I'm just kidding. So speaking about that, it's a good thing to bring up there, Danny. Is that this is 100% an army builder, right? 100% an army builder, and I always go by a minimum army build of 3. So they limit 2 per customer on Hasbro Pulse. I understand why they only have so many, but they 100% know this is going to be an army builder. So I feel like this would have been a fun one for them not to limit at all, and just see how many people buy of Sharkticons. And they're like, they could come back and say there are 25,000 Sharkticons out there, way more than there are Unicrons. Like that would be something to advertise, to say, look how many pre-orders we have, like Mr. Hasbro CEO, product and Transformers product manager. Like, look at this, look at these numbers. Like, they want these Sharkticons. This should have been a huge selling point. I think limiting it was not a good idea. If they want to limit characters, like for a first run situation, I get that, because of factory time, you got to schedule it, blah, blah, blah. You only get like a $20,000, $30,000 or 30,000 character run. Then you got to, afford for ones that don't pass QC. But that is understandable. This, I don't understand the limit of it. But yes, I do have at least 2 coming to me. But I don't understand this limit.
With Sharkticons, I've always. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Ninja Bill.
When it comes to Sharkticons, I've always been of the opinion, buy any of the Sharkticons that come out in retail, any of them. Buy the Cyberverse ones. There was the little ones that came with Hot Rod. Buy the Cyberverse one. Buy the Titans Return. Buy this one. Buy multiples of them. because when it comes to Sharkticons, you can never have too many, and varying ones. When you get the little tiny ones that came with a Cyberverse Hot Rod, and then you have your baby Sharkticons, and you have variation of the same thing, and variation leads, in my opinion, to a better looking army, because it's not all exactly the same thing. You have some variation in there. So I think, when it comes to getting this Sharkticon, even if you already have a dozen of the Nogs from Titan's Return and maybe a couple from Cyberverse, get this one too. Honestly, just pick up this one, because variation is the key when it comes to army building Sharkticons, in my opinion. And that's the same with the Alicon. He came out in 3 different flavors now, and you can, it's a good thing, I think.
Talking about the purchase limit, I think they did the same thing for Reflector back in Siege, purchase limit of 2, which to me was the dumbest thing, because you need at least 3 to build a camera mode.
Yeah.
And I remember being so frustrated by that, because I pre-ordered the 2 and then I had to go search for a 3rd one just to build the camera mode. And I'm like, look, I get purchase limits, but in the case of a trio, maybe you should have set that at 3. There's just everyone's walking around trying to find their last one.
Set. They released that
I love
box
the box
set.
set.
So
Yeah.
I never found it, but
one.
The box set's
I'm so
the only
jealous
one I have, because I could never find normal ones in the wild, and I was always afraid to buy one, and then I was going to have one and never find 2 more. So I never bought the other ones.
What was funny about that is that you had the Netflix scrap face, that one came out, and then they never advertised it could combine or whatever, but we know it can because the reflector mold. But then people started going crazy. They were like, "Oh, can you get me a reflector? Can I get a reflector? Can you get a Netflix version?" And then that way you can make an apocalyptic looking camera. And then that's how they sold out so quickly on that right. But I think this is going to have that same problem of storage, where we're not going to be able to find it in stores for a long time because everybody's army building it. And then we're going to eventually, a couple months later, we'll start finding them online and people can start getting theirs in. But so if anybody's watching this and they don't have a pre-order in for it or whatever, don't be scared. You're not going to get it. It's Sharkticon. They know it's an army builder. I just wish on Hasbro Pulse they recognized that more and not had a limit on it at all.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Ninja Bill?
No, I agree with you. You nailed it. I agree with you.
I remember
I only saw Scrap Face in a store one time.
I remember driving an hour and a half.
I saw multiples. I actually bought quite a few and sent them out to other people because they were just all over the place. And normally my store has nothing, but they were all over the place. And that Decepticon Mirage, and I was just like, oh, okay. You want one? I can pick you one. It was one of those things.
That was funny about that Decepticon Mirage. I could find that anywhere. And then everybody started going crazy for Decepticon Mirage because they wasted all their money on getting multiple scrap faces.
Yeah, see, that's the only Mirage I could find was the Decepticon version. I wish I could have. I'd never found the other one. So seeing that one that comes with that Dinobot, I could care less about the Grimlock, but I do like that Mirage.
Siege one's going up in value.
Yeah.
Now this one, the next thing we're going to talk about here is that Studio Series 86 Voyager Wreck-Gar. This kind of got teased for us actually before the official announcement because 80s Tees had put up their promotional artwork for the 1986 their t-shirt promo, and it had the box art, which didn't look like anything of a previous toy or even exactly like what it looked like in the movie, a very artist interpretation, but it looked like it could very well be the box art for Studio Series 86, which it turned out it was. And this figure looks amazing. I couldn't think of a more perfect Wreck-Gar unless he had pull-apart arms and legs. That would be the only thing. But honestly, they gave him, I almost said something else. The chest guns. They gave him the chest guns. And I'm super excited about that. But what are your guys' thoughts on this?
I am shocked you can't pull his arms and legs off.
Yeah, you could with
slide out.
not with
Or
him.
can you?
No, they'll slide out. They're on a little
Mushroom pegs?
type peg, but it's not like a pull apart like how Studio Series Cup.
Right, you're popping ball joints. You're not. They don't have nice. Just
Yeah, it looks like they're on C joint, or they are on C joints. So they'll mushroom pegs. They'll pull right off.
I mean, the tires have those little pegs that I think you can put multiple blast effects on, so you could spin that around on his arm. So that would be cool. I hope.
He does look good.
Really.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah, I don't
surprised
like-
they got the spikes. Honestly.
Yeah, I think they're probably soft though.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
Yeah,
for safety
yeah.
reasons.
Oh
But
yeah.
they tend to
Well,
leave
they look
details
like-
like that off.
They
So
do,
I was
yeah.
They look like
shocked
the
that they
hard
actually put them on
plastic
there.
because they're flat on the end, so it looks like they're part of the tire mold or something. But if they're soft plastic, that's even better.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I can't wait to see. I don't even like Wreck-Gar, and this is a great looking figure.
Right?
Yeah, I
It's the
think I
lull
have
of the
like-
movie. It's right when we
I
get that
think I
part.
have
I'm like,
one
yo,
Wreck-Gar.
good to go do something, but
That
I think
face
his
sculpt right off
chest
the
guns
bat.
are articulated, aren't they? They look like they're on ball joints.
oh wow,
Yes.
interesting.
They look like you can point them around. You can point this little.
Which
Yeah,
is
I-
really highly inappropriate.
Yeah, it really
incredibly
is.
inappropropriate.
Press
Yeah.
guns around,
Who
but
designed this
okay.
guy?
It's like that other show you had, Crimson, going in M3's live stream.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what about that. They had that RED Prime RC. They took off her chest plate, showed that on a stream. Didn't even bat an eye. So if they're giving us twirlable chest guns on Wreck-Gar, they're doing this just to troll us.
Tassel guns. They are.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Spin around.
Castleman, yeah.
So I think you can fit quite an statement of blast effect on his chest guns for sure.
These pink ones.
Bryant, TF Pan, page
Pink
101 in
plastic
chat said, should we get a Junkion multi-pack? I could see
Absolutely.
it happening. I could see it
Yeah.
Oh
happening.
yeah.
I could
I
see
would love
all
that.
the Junks, all the Junkions
Like the
just
Chuckatron
giving me.
and a Junkion pack.
I could see it as a Target exclusive, like they did with the Rainmakers.
Yes.
Because they had 3 Voyagers for like $80,
Or an
and
Amazon.
yeah, slight read echoes, different heads. I could see that.
So did you guys notice on the back of his box it says Junkion Dance Party? As if, like, I've noticed nobody's talked about that. But it literally says Junkion Dance Party and Dance Party in different languages.
Well, they probably couldn't use Dare to Be Stupid on there.
Right? They're just like Junkion Dance Party underneath his name. on the
Chunky
back of
on
the thing.
dance party hashtag.
I personally mentally blocked that one particular scene from the movie. Like,
Yeah.
to me, that is the most out of place thing in that whole movie, where they just random dance
Absolutely.
party, hugging, kissing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just trying to kill each other like 20 seconds ago.
Reminds me of the Adam
I think
West.
it's fantastic.
Yeah,
I'll-
like
I'll
I
tell
just,
you what,
I
it's
kind of
the-
mentally just
it's-
blocked that part out and just pretended
Yeah.
it didn't
It's
happen
the
in the movie.
absurdity of it that I love it so much. It's the
It made me
absolute
hate all of
absurdity
it, though. It made me hate all the Junkion part singing. I just blanked it out, man.
Well, I'll tell you what.
They look cool.
I
She
recently
has
watched the
Junkion
Blu-ray version of the
PTSD.
movie. Yeah, I
Yeah,
recently watched that Blu-ray version of the movie and seen things in it I've never seen before, and I know that particular scene is not as well restored as the rest of the scenes on the Blu-ray. But if you think about it, Prime died, a bunch of Ratchet and Ironhide and Brawn died. You see Wheeljack and Windcharger dead. In the original script, there are deleted scenes with Mirage being shot point blank by Megatron. There's Red Alert dies. There's Trailbreaker leaned over as the Decepticons are retreating, like leaned over dead. Obviously, there's all that stuff going on, right? And so then you have with Prime's death, and that you lose Starscream, which he deserved, but still you're losing legacy characters. And then Ultra Magnus had just died, like
And
was
then you have a
ripped
dance
apart,
party.
drawn and quartered, and it's like this is the only beacon of hope in that movie was this Junkion Dance Party. So I do now understand after all these years why that's in there, because that was their thought process of giving the kids a little pep up and let's get rally together and take out the Grand Poobah.
Kids really want to dance after Optimus Prime dies.
Yeah, I mean Ultra Magnus
Damn
was
straight. Yeah.
I mean, but even though they didn't fix Ultra Magnus until like after the dance party,
Well, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, you think so many people
See-
die, and then there's a dance party. It's like the kid's not gone through enough drama. I mean, I loved seeing the Autobots die as a kid, but I turned out normal.
yeah.
He says after the fact.
Yeah,
Talk
look at
about
me.
murder like it's casual, and this is, but I'm normal.
I'm formal. I'm normal.
I
mean-
do always wonder though, and I know it's not a movie discussion, stream, but it's just like, why didn't they go back and get Prime's body? Maybe the Junkions knew how to if they knew how to fix Transformers, they could fix Prime, right?
Yeah,
But don't they end up
Like,
fixing him? Like, the
was the-
Junkions helped restore him eventually in like the third season.
Mhm.
It's like you guys could have done this the whole time.
Yeah.
Imagine if they had made him. Well, actually, I guess when you think about it, Rekgar could only do all he could, and it was the Quintessons that fixed him. But yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. As a
Like,
Rekgar,
we literally
but-
just put him
but-
back together like it was nothing.
Yeah, I
Well,
always
like,
thought
they
that was a
could've-
loophole
They
in
could
the
have given the
movie.
Matrix. Okay, Prime, you don't have the Matrix. That's all right. And he's like, but he's got all this battle armor, and he's like Power Master Optimus Prime. I'll be like, oh yeah, let's go beat up Unicron. Let's do it.
Hey,
Oh,
how you doing there, Ultramarcus?
Right? Ultra Marcus in the house. Let's see some
Oh,
G1
is he in the-
stop motion.
oh, he's in the chat. Oh,
Homage.
cool. So we got this one. This one looks like everybody. Beastio, you're pretty excited about this too.
I think he's chef's kiss perfection. I love Redgar. He's a good old Eric Idle, and he just you can hear Eric's voice just coming out of that figure, and I'm ready for a dance party. That's
I love Eric Idle.
mm.
It's great.
Yeah, I got two of these figures coming in, if only for the reason that Rekgar could ride himself. But I don't
Well,
know.
It's
full
I
of
just
it,
think
man.
that vehicle
It's full
mode
Just
looks
some
great.
burlesque, chess pieces going on, riding himself. He's got it all going on. There's Redgar.
Yeah. He's adventurous, that's for sure.
Yeah. I will say, if any word of caution when we do get this figure in, there looks to be quite a bit of clear plastic kind of through some of the parts, not just on the windshield. So I would kind of be wary of that when transforming him the first time. But I just can't believe how did they nail like 100% the colors of Rekgar? Because those Junkions are made out of all kinds of different rust colors, and they just they spot on. Like, this is where
Yeah,
the
it's
budget
impressive.
went right here.
It's impressive, yeah. I don't even like Rekgar too much. Like, I think he's okay character. Just annoys me, but it's so good, yeah. Like, it's so cool, man.
I like
So
it.
we got this-
'cause I currently only have, as I look at my collection, I have literally one Rekgar, and that's the Generations one.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
it. And then I had the other one they released. Still, I forget his name.
It was the Power of the Primes one.
Yeah, it was the repaint of that motorcycle. The other one.
Later on,
Um,
in the Generations line, slight
You mean Scrap Heap?
slight
Yeah,
retool.
those Scrap
Um,
Heap. Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, I
yes,
have that one.
yes.
I have
Yeah.
the new
So-
head retool guy. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll buy every version of this.
Yeah, how
Um,
does the vehicle mode look? Do you like it? Like, because I don't remember the vehicle mode. Is that just spot on? Is the
It looks pretty
robot
bang on.
mode or what?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it looks really good. I think it does. My only real complaint is where the seat is, but other than that, that's just nitpicky, small, nitpicky stuff that most collectors probably won't worry about.
Have we had any photos of him actually riding himself? So what scale
Yeah.
it actually
I
looks
think they
like?
showed that in the stream, didn't they?
Right.
Yeah.
Had him
They
ride
did.
It was
himself.
in an official screen. He can ride himself.
that's right, yeah.
Like
Yeah, they were already on it. They're like,
Does it scale? Does it scale well?
It's always
Oh.
fun playing with yourself. It's always fun
Yeah.
playing with yourself.
yeah, did they scale well, Crimson?
Well,
I
okay.
thought
So
they
that's
did.
the thing, right? So Rekgar has really been a deluxe throughout the years as a figure, but and I've never had the G1 toy, so I can't say kind of how tall that kind of is. But in the show, Rodimus Prime, Springer, and Rekgar are all supposed to be the same height, so it makes sense that he's a Voyager to match the upcoming Rodimus Prime. That's also a Voyager height in Commander packaging, but also Voyager height. So that makes sense for scale, yes. And he's supposed to be a big bike. If he's a deluxe size bike, then it's harder for the other characters to ride him that are Voyager size. So yeah, I think
Hey,
it's
T-Pain
really
Geek.
good. He definitely should be the Voyager, and it makes sense. So
Speaking of Voyagers,
the next-
we also got a Starscream coming up too.
yeah, that's what the next one we're talking about is that Shatterglass Voyager Starscream, which came out of nowhere. Again, I think it was somewhat rumored with that and a Jetfire, repaint with Siege, the Siege Jetfire, but No information, no actual pictures of this before it was released, which was good. Very happy about that. And so for me, I wish it had orange on the cockpit so I could just buy more of these because it's already that white color and just make multiple different Seekers. But that said, that it looks like a really good. Again, I'm not a big Shattered Glass fan, but this looks really good. I know my buddy Input, super big into that Shattered Glass universe, and he was super excited to get this. He when it got announced, he was not quite awake, and he was waking up. I was like, "Did you see this Shattered Glass Starscream?" He's like, "What?" So
Yeah, I'm not in it. I'm not into the Shattered Glass thing, so it looks great, and I hope people really like it. I'm not getting it. I haven't bought a single Shattered Glass thing, and it's just not me. But I will say, for those who do get it, I think they'll be fairly happy with it because I am actually really happy they're reusing the Siege mold, not the Earthrise molds. I am really happy about that because I think it fits better.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, this definitely, the Siege mold is more articulated than the Earthrise, so you get your wrist swivel, you get
Waist
like
swivel.
kind of a little nose, waist swivel as well. That's right, that is missing from the Earthrise as well. So, but anybody thoughts, TF Collector?
I love it, honestly. Like Bill was saying, I am happy with the mold choice because it's a much closer match to the original. Because the Cybertron Starscream was based off the Tetra Jet design as well, so just it works so much better. I love now he was always colored to look like Jetfire, but I love how they kind of went the extra mile with the chest, where they gave it that like toy / siege coloration instead of just being mostly white with a blue cockpit. I think it really helps make him more interesting because it would have been kind of plain and boring if he was just like 95% just white with small details. And I'm happy to get this because I have the subscription service one, the Combiner Limb one. And I mean, it's cool, but it's so out of place. It doesn't go with anything. In order to build the combiner that he's meant for, you have to be one of the 3 people on Earth that have multiple different copies of the custom class Ratchet, and one has to be medics, and it was very disappointing. It was not my best, the best introduction to a Shattered Glass Starscream, so I'm happy we're getting this. I like it.
Visto, what's your thoughts on this?
Oh, again, I'm not a big Shattered Glass of the good guys, Decepticons. So I like what they've done. I like the painting, how it's painted, but it'll not be joining me, even though that Tetra Jet mold is pretty decent. But yeah, I'm just gonna stick to evil Autobots really in my Shattered Glass kind of collection.
I think the evil Autobots as a concept are more interesting, but I think so far what they've done, the colors on the Decepticons are just really hooking me. I think the Megatron and the Starscream just look awesome compared to the other guys, especially Megatron.
Yeah, I agree. Those are my sentiments as well. Danny, what are your thoughts?
Yeah,
on
no,
this,
it's the Canadian color, so I gotta love it. But
Canada.
It's like a hockey team or something. But yeah, no, that's I agree though. The evil Autobots is really cool. It's just more there's something more grabbing, grabs you by that. But the thing is, I wish they softened up the guy's face. The Autobot, the Decepticons that are good. I wish they just had a more Autobot face. I love the design of this Jetfire, totally, the robot mode and all that. I love the color, like you're saying, extra color. It looks sick. This packaging looks dope. The swords are great, and like you said, it's kind of like that Cybertronian one. So I'm down, but I just wish they just changed the head sculpt just slightly. Is that too much money just to do a little softer face on the dude? Is that
So how this works is they have a steel mold, and the steel mold will have gated parts where they can inject the plastic and all that stuff, and so kind of like a Gundam model. If you find kind of something like that, you just kind of look at those little. Theirs are much more intricate in the way that they design theirs because But anyway, that's beside the point. But yeah, they're gated like that, and they'll have like multiple faces, multiple parts, and like say for a Starscream, they may maybe that's a bad example. Like a Prime, they may have a Prime, and then they'll have one that has like a crushed face, or the Dedimus Prime that was coming out later. So they'll block that part off so that doesn't waste the plastic, but they'll put the rest of it will be molded in. So they couldn't like grab like an Earthrise head and put on it because they have to grab the entire steel mold, and those cost like tens of thousands of dollars to create and cut. So that's the reason why they couldn't kind of swap out a face or something like that.
I know they just do it for Blair and some of the Decepticons though. So can't they do one Autobot or one Decepticon Autobot with a different face? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they even intended to Shattered Glass at all because they didn't think Siege was going to be as big of a hit as it was, and it turned out that they did the right thing, giving us more articulation and less hollow, and we'll take it. Ninja Bill, what are your thoughts on this Shattered Glass Starscream?
Oh, I was one of the first to comment on it. But again, I just want to reiterate, I'm not a Shattered Glass collector, but I think the use of the Siege mold was probably the best decision they made for this Starscream. It really just makes more sense. As TF Collector followed after my original comment, it does look. My only real problem is I wish the face had more gray. It was more grayish. I think that would have looked better. But that's just me. To break up that all white color just a little bit more, have more of a gray on his face, I think that would have looked really good. But other than that, I think it's a good use of the mold. I really do. It's just, again, I'm right there with Bistro. Shattered Glass is just not my thing. It's not my bag, and that's okay.
I think it's kind of weird that some of the the sword is that a new use of that sword? Have we seen that somewhere else? Is that from the Windblade, Titans Within Windblade?
No, that's new.
I have stared at those pictures for that sword to figure out exactly what they did to make it so that he split in half, and I've never seen that mold on any figure before.
Yep.
I'm wondering what the swords are from, like as far because I don't think in the story he had swords that I can.
Jetfire has a sword though.
Yeah, I wonder if that's what it is. Maybe it's homaging his swords.
Yeah,
it was an interesting inclusion.
I love how they made one with
a
longer handle or hilt on it, and then the other one's a little smaller one, just so it doesn't look so obvious that there's two of them there next to it. So that is kind of innovative in a way. I don't think I've seen something quite like
subtle,
that.
Yeah, it's a subtle thing. Like not everyone would pick up why, but it's weird.
Yeah.
It's
when he
as
stays
far
straight
as
and giving.
As far as I know,
Sorry.
it's completely new accessory. I can't remember another figure that had it, and I'm right there with the other. With Fire Talks, I've poured over older pictures of other figures, and I'm like, nope, I've never seen this before. So as far as I'm aware, it's a brand new accessory.
So that tells me that yes, they can kind of put in a little molded plate. It's a little more difficult to do that manufacturer wise, but they could put in like a little separate molded plate. Like if it's not all one huge steel mold, then they'll have multiple ones. But does this mean that there was always a sword intended for all those Siege Seekers, or did they add it later with maybe a Red Wing, or so that's just kind of strange that the sword comes out of nowhere,
idea,
but it looked badass. So
well, it's molded in blue clear plastic, so it might be its own separate. They might just have one plate that makes 100 of those swords, 1,000 of those swords, whatever.
That's what I'm leaning toward right now.
That's what I think it is.
I definitely think we'll see it again though. So I don't think that's the last time we'll see this sword, but it looks cool.
I mean, they could have used it with the Dinobots, but
oh, God forbid the Dinobots get their swords.
Yeah.
Why get swords when you can get unarticulated?
That's a whole different topic and a whole different video. Because trust me, every one of us here would have a rant, the size of an hour just on this topic of them not having all the accessories they should.
I wish I could have been in the room when they were, going over that when they're sitting around having the little meeting. Like, okay, guys, we got these real serious collector types. They're all about this G1 stuff. What do they want? Do they want all the accessories? No, they want wheelie. And not just any wheelie, but one that can't transform. Actually, I'll do you one better. One that can't move very well. Just a brick.
Right?
A brick wheelie. And it's like, somebody was like, that sounds like a way better idea than their swords. Let's do that. And like they said that with a straight face. I'm like, wow, I thought you guys knew your audience, but maybe not.
But wheelie has a slingshot.
I mean, I do like the slingshot. I think, given the cost, they should have just maybe redecoed Titan's Return wheelie and just included him. Like, I don't think that would have broken the bank on budget. They already had the tooling, and they just give him a little 5 mil port slingshot. Like, I would have been way happier than with that thing we got that can't stand up, unless Firecock saves the day. Yeah.
So
you should never have to buy upgrades on a figure. Like that's when they failed in the design process.
Well, it's not the design process. It's a failure in their kind of their design. It's more of a failure in their engineering department and their marketing department saying, what do we include here? We gotta make some bank on this too. What can we do?
Everyone's favorite character, Wheelie.
Whee!
And Daniel, the two most loved characters in all of Transformers.
How can we include a character without making a complete new transformable toy? Oh, we'll throw it in with the Dinobots. We'll throw them in with the Dinobots. And
now, if they can just squeeze Kicker in there, they'll have the trifecta of most beloved.
Well, they got a figure that doesn't have working knees.
Yeah,
I'm just hoping they don't give us a Carly like the Spike Daniel when this coming with Slag. No, give us a completely new Carly, please.
That'd be cool. I'd take a Carly.
The thought process was that if you buy Wheelie the toy, you'll get years of joy. That's probably more of what they matter.
If they put that Carly out, her knees better bend.
Let's talk about Goldbug.
Yeah, so they had this little teaser that was not intentional, or maybe it was intentional, probably not. They have a saboteur at the Hasbro Pulse website. But they had mentioned about a Shattered Glass Goldbug, and in this case, it's like
Goldbug?
They were trying to advertise Starscream, which, on their little promo thing, it's not there anymore, but it was listed as their little, like, the latest figure in the Transformers Generation Shattered Glass collection, Goldbug, and it's like, no.
What?
So we know that's coming. That's pretty much unofficially announced, right? And that'll be cool. I wonder if it'll be the Netflix B, because that makes sense, but because they're already using Siege, they're using all these kind of molds, kind of the Studio series. They're redoing that, so they're pulling from everywhere.
I would not have a problem if they use a Netflix one. I would not have a problem with that, because that Netflix B is probably the best B ever released in retail.
I agree.
In my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's the wrong color.
Better than the Masterpiece
color. Oh, it's way better than the Masterpiece, but it's Sunstreaker's orange yellow color. But I wonder if the gold one, if they'll do a metallic paint, or they'll try to make it kind of like a metallic kind of glitter kind of plastic. I wonder how that'll work out. Thoughts? Anybody thoughts on the Goldbug?
Well, if he's the Shattered Glass version, I'm looking at a picture of the Shattered Glass version. It's more black than yellow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
With a blue head.
It'll be a black bug instead of a gold bug? What?
Well, it looks like it's more black with yellow accents. So it would be black with like yellow stripes.
Could just be the lighting of the photo too. Could be just the lighting of the photo too. So
blue.
So he's okay. So he's based off of that. Is that Hot Shot? I think that's Hot Shot. So
yeah.
Is that he's more black and yellow then. He's more Bayverse looking, actually.
Black and yellow. Like
a no, not Bayverse. The Stealth Bee, was it Stealth Ops Bee or something? Shadow Bee or
from
something?
Robots in the Skies.
Yeah. I see those.
Which I'm not opposed to. It looks good looking at like the pictures in the comic, and then looking at some of the figures that have actually been made, or at least people have made. It would look good. But I don't see them being able to pull that off with the actual Volkswagen bug mold.
So KR Brickbot, he brings up a good point about an evil Volkswagen. Probably why this toy, if it is based off of that mold, will not be the Volkswagen version, because Volkswagen explicitly does not allow their cars to be used for evil characters. That's why
It's true.
Bug
That
Bite.
is very true.
Yeah, that's why Bug Bite used the Cliff Jumper body. I'm thinking what they'll probably do is either use the Cliff Jumper tooling with the Goldbug head, which would be more fitting because Goldbug was much boxier than Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Or maybe even reshell them again to give them a more accurate vehicle mode, but I doubt they do that. So probably Cliff Jumper with a Goldbug head, and then these black and yellow colors.
See,
it would be.
I'm leaning more towards them maybe using Runabout and Runamuck, because
That could work.
Yeah,
too.
that would work.
the jump starters and the throttle bots, very similar robot modes.
That's very true.
That'd be great. Yeah,
Yeah. I could see that.
that'd be spot on. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd be down. Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, I'd
you-
prefer that.
Swap that head out.
Yeah, that would look clean, man. That would look dope.
Bistro nailed it. I think. Yeah, that would
He
work
did.
better.
Yeah, I'd
And
buy it.
And you know they want to repaint that. They already repainted it. You know.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
think
just
I
an
saw.
extra.
I think I saw in a leak somewhere that down the line we're going to get a non-SG Goldbug as well. I forget. I think that was in like one of the big out there leaks, which I can see that that happening in the new thing, Legacy, where it's going to be more like a Thrilling 30. I can definitely see just regular Goldbug showing up in that after they do this SG one. Yeah, I'd
In
love
that
for it to be
mold.
that mold.
Yeah,
that'd be perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's got the
yeah.
backpack thing too.
Yeah, I know it's got the
Like Goldbug
hood.
has.
Yeah. And all square. Yeah, no, you called it.
Well, that's a really super awesome discussion.
Yeah,
on these
Bisto,
fan reveals
Hey,
and everything. And
Real quick, guys. Thanks for. I've got a split. As some of you may know, I'm dealing with some deeply personal things going on. But thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me join part of the show. Crimson, Bistro, Danny, Fire Talks, TF Collector. Amazing time. But I gotta go. Once again, people can find me on YouTube as Ninja Bill Reviews, Shinobi Biru on Facebook, and Discord is Ninja Bill. But I've got a split. Everyone have an awesome night, awesome weekend, and I'll see everyone around. Be good to each other.
All right. Good luck, Bill.
Bye, Bill.
Later, Bill.
Yeah,
Adios,
thanks
Ninja.
very much.
All right, so the last topic we kind of got here is we got the Hasbro Pulse, the August 2021 price increases.
Boo.
So these aren't as kind of looks like it's kind of starting, and TF Collector's kind of already booming it. Yeah, we don't want price increases, but it's kind of weird the arrangement they have here. So we have Core is going up $1 from $9.99 to $10.99. That's not too big of a deal, because I mean, we're kind of surprised they were $9.99 anyway, because they were $10.99 for the Titans Return little Legends ones. But the Deluxe is going up from 22 to 23. That's not that bad. But of course, we say $22.99. It's actually, they've been 20 for a long time. But also, if you've been like getting them at Walmart or something, they're really like $17.88.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a big jump there. But that's also gives leeway for retailers to say, hey, yeah, retail's $29 or $23.99, but we're going to have it on sale for $20. So we'll just get it for the same price anyway. But the online retailers, they don't want to do that. Voyager, however, is going from $29 to $34.99. That's a $5 increase for a Voyager. That's a bigger jump. But on the side of that, you have Leader going from $49.99 to $52.99, a $3 jump. I feel like those should be swapped. We should have a bigger Leader price and a less of a Voyager chunk on that. What do you guys think about that situation between those two? That's kind of weird, right?
That is a weird swap. Yeah.
This
I mean, we
stuff-
just talked about the Shattered Glass one is $38.99 on Hasbro Pulse. It was $36 when you ordered it, or it was $30 when it was a early bird price. So $34.99 is kind of a big chunk on a Voyager to kind of buy.
Yeah,
it.
even that Voyager price, like in Canada, that's gonna be like a Voyager's gonna be like $42.99 or something.
Yeah. So I don't know about that. That's not a good. Not a good.
Just imagine paying that price for Studio Series Hot Rod.
Right?
Yeah.
I already hate myself for giving into that, and thinking
That's
of
all right. I would
$35.
buy
is
Studio
just-
Series. I'd buy
Yeah.
Studio Series Hot Rod for $50 because it's an amazing figure. But that's just me.
I love that figure. I can't say that.
I bought the Siege Shockwave for $50. I had no problem, but I love Shockwave. But Astro Train, I was like,
Oh yeah, I like most
can you do it
figures
for
I
40?
get. I just don't always feel good about how much I paid for them. It's like
That's-
the old Pepe meme, like feels bad, man. Like
Right?
I don't like this.
Well,
A lot
then
of the
you got
problem
the
with
Commander. Oh no, go
Not
ahead,
everybody's
go ahead.
going to be okay spending $52.99 on hot rod with a half-ass trailer.
Right. I mean, you can say like,
Yeah.
you can say to the wife or to the husband, or the girlfriend or boyfriend, you'd be like, oh yeah, well this one's only $49. Well, at least it's not 50. This one's only 52. It's over 50. You can't get that. So,
Wait, actually, no, it's
Yeah.
not $52.99 for hot rod with a cheap ass trailer. It's $84.99 for hot rod
Yep.
with a cheap ass trailer.
Yeah.
Yep, 'cause
There-
we're going to the Commander class from 79 to 84 with a
Because-
$5 increase.
I've been up for too long.
I don't know what's up with that. I mean that is probably not a good idea because Commander classes were already hard to find in retail outlets anyway because of the bigger packaging. Like in my situation, my Walmart had Skyfire, had Siege Jetfire. One time, there were 2 in a case. They had it one time, and then they decided that they weren't going to order anymore. I bought mine, and then they clearanced out. Then they got another case, and they clearanced out those immediately when they came in. So I don't know quite what's going on. Why this would be a good idea?
Talking about the $25 increase on Titans. Didn't really touch on that, but
that's a huge chunk. So 160.
That's just greed. I'm
159
sorry,
again
you
for
can't
Titans
tell
for
me.
185.
You
I don't
can't
think
tell me
that's-
that was necessary. 25. Like, are they going to get better? I doubt they're getting better. So,
No.
But didn't somebody say the Ark is the last Titan they're going to make?
Yeah.
somebody said that,
Yeah,
and that
was a
actually came
rumor,
up. Yeah, that came up during a Q&A, and they strongly implied that that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
That's giving a
That
definitive
is good. Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm glad because I mean, there's still so many other characters that need a Titan release.
Yeah. No, that's hopeful.
But that is nuts, and especially like if you look at if you look at Skylynx and you look at Jetfire and you look at what we're getting as a alternative to figures of that scale, and then you look at Scorponok and you look at Omega Supreme. I'm not saying the Ark is terrible, but you don't have panels this big that are wide open on either of those 2 other figures. Like, not nearly that bad.
Yeah, the Ark's definitely a weak point in Modern Titans. Like,
Oh yeah.
And it's going to be $25 more than Scorponok.
Wow. Really? That's insane.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like Scorponok was
looks terrible.
shorter of the. Well, I mean, really, Omega Supreme was the shortest, right? But Scorponok was a little shorter too, and I mean, we got like there's headmaster tooling in that. I don't think that that's a good idea for that price. But that said, if we get a G1 cartoon accurate Metroplex, I'm 100% all in. No matter the cost, as Prime once said. Like, but honestly, I can't do 100. I mean, that's masterpiece for a Titan at this point. That's masterpiece pricing, or the old masterpiece pricing.
The masterpieces are $300-$400 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beast Wars.
So I think that's going to be a huge hit for people that are wanting to get in on any Titans. But if this is their price for reissues, like Fortress Maximus, if they decide to reissue that, if they try to reissue the Generations Metroplex or Triptychon, then this isn't gonna work at all.
I got Triptychon for $70.
Wow.
lucky you.
Yeah.
And that was only a year and a half ago. Brand new.
We got those. You got
Yeah.
yours at BBTS, right? Fire Talks. That's where I got mine.
I got mine on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
I think
I got mine for
Triptychon's
that.
the last Titan that really went on clearance because, like, it happened with him. It happened with Fort Max. It might have happened with Metroplex. They started limiting the releases after that. which is why you see Titans like Omega get restocked months down the line. They got smarter where they only release so many, so they wouldn't have like a ton of them sitting around in warehouses. And then if there's enough demand after they sold down, they're doing re-releases, which is probably smarter because I hated seeing like $40 Fort Maxes at Ollie's. I'm sure some people are happy to see that.
Yeah, let me know because I can't get a Fortress
Maximus.
Yeah, I did not know Fortress Maximus even had electronics. I knew the Metroplex did, but I didn't know the Fort Max did. But I'm having a hard time finding one right now. But that's why
if you get the convention version of Fort Max, you hold his little button down for a few seconds. It does like a Transformers guitar riff, which is pretty cool. It's like a little hidden feature that they didn't really advertise, but it's only on that version.
Yeah,
I just can't justify the price they want when you look that guy up now.
Oh, I bet.
Easter
egg.
I
got it when it was out.
Hey, nothing
even
beats
then
that.
It was expensive. It was like $180.
Nothing beats that $600 price for a Generations Metroplex right now. So
right,
I got that. I have that.
They know we want one.
Yeah, I have Metroplex, and I got like the crappiest version they made. It was the Canadian version. No offense to any.
No, I remember people complained about it.
Because they cut a lot of the voice box dialogue and stuff out of it. So it was like literally the worst version you could get, like least accessories, worst voice box. And I didn't realize it at the time that I got the Canadian version. I just found one at BotCon, and pretty disappointed. I wish I had been on top of it, and I would have gotten the SDCC one that had like the 2 guns and everything. But
so does your Canadian Metroplex? When you hit it, it says Metroplex heeds the call of the last.
No, they took out all of the actual. They took out all the actual voice lines, and there was a reason for it. I think it might have been licensing or something.
But it's the French thing.
It might have been. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Probably because you have to have that.
Yeah,
is that right, Danny? Up there, you guys have like your signs. And
stuff. Yeah, no. If it doesn't have French on it, you're done. Yeah,
yeah. So rather than include French lines, they just cut them.
In the yeah, like in the.
And I was mad because I paid way too much. I paid like $325 for it because I got it, aftermarket from a seller. And I'm like, wow, I got the worst version imaginable for like twice the price. That is great.
Blame Canada.
What's weird?
Blame Canada.
What's weird is the Japanese one. There's like 7 different releases of that Metroplex in Japan.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we don't have
standard,
that
the Canadian, the SDCC, and then the Legends one. And it's a toss-up between Legends and SDCC as far as which one. The biggest difference is that the Comic-Con one had like a chrome face. Something they did special for that. I'd probably go with the Legends one if price wasn't an issue. I think that's the best one.
I'd go with a broken one if I could right now.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I want that Canadian one. Gee, how cheap is that?
I mean, I will say just for my own personal collection, like for Metroplex is a character I love very much, and I would love for them to do kind of 2 different versions. I'd like them to do a like a normal like cartoon version, and then they could do like a orange, maybe kind of a gold kind of arc kind of look color to it, so that way you could have like that movie Autobot City kind of look in the mode, and then have Metroplex kind of around it. Like if they could figure out something like that, without, I mean, of course Metroplex would end up being like an orange color, right? But I mean, they could figure out a way to make twice that money. Like we're going to charge you, $185, one for each mode. So
yeah, I think
or if you turned inside out.
Head on.
Yep. Hey, Anthony, we can see that out there,
I think he.
That's the
right
point.
Messages.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that the point? Yeah, holy crap.
Yeah, but that was a really good discussion. Kind of cool.
Imagine if he was just browsing the internet and didn't realize we could see what he was doing.
That'd be great.
Like, sir,
what the?
Then he took it off.
There are children here.
But no, seriously, like this was a really great panel, really great kind of hanging out here, kind of hitting that 2-hour mark. Our goal was 90 minutes, but we went way past that, and that is fine.
We always do.
But yeah, I mean, kind of go around, let's start kind of clockwise. Is that the right way? Yeah. Be Still Eddie, where can they find you? Where would you like people to find you, actually? How about that?
You can find me at Bisto Yeti on YouTube and Instagram. Just a shout out on the 10th of July. We're going to be doing a lot of us UK YouTubers are going to be doing like a online convention called Bots at Home 2. So this is the second year we've done it because, we've not been able to go to conventions. So keep an eye out. Probably look them up on Facebook or Twitter for Bots at Home, and we'll see what other, like a whole day of videos is going to be out on the 10th of July. So
Awesome.
That's me.
Danny Dolphin, where can they find you?
Yeah, no, you should not find me anywhere on the internet. But yeah, if you do, on YouTube, Danny Dolphin, as spelled here, and Instagram, OMG Danny Dolphin, spelled with the I like here. And yeah, those are the best and safest places to find me on the interweb. And yeah, mostly with my toy content and stuff like that. So EA.
Yeah, I'm curious about the unsafe places.
Yeah, no, it's a deep dark.
There's a
path.
second layer here.
Yeah, there's a deep dark path, but this is the
That's
friendly.
for TF Collector. That's for the Transformers reviewers after dark.
Yeah, that's the after.
Gotta wait 4 more minutes for that
I
link.
need to get in on that one.
Is that everywhere? Is that everywhere you want us to find you?
Yeah, that's the only places I want you to find me at.
All right. TF Collector, where can they find you?
So naturally, you can find me here on YouTube at TF Collector. Been in a bit of an upload slump the last couple weeks, but if my Volcanicus and Abominus ever actually show up in the mail after over a month, maybe I'll post again. So that's the main place. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then I'm on a lot of the major fan sites as Lore Keeper.
So quick question on the Volcanicus purchase, and then you find out they're making all the Studio Series Dinobots. Are you regretting
we
the
already kind of
Volcanicus?
knew. I think we already knew they were coming by the time Select Volcanicus came out. I just got it because it's just such a much nicer version than the Power of the Primes, and the swords and all that are cool, and the extra chest filler. I'm not 100% crazy about paying for it because it's not nearly as much of a must as maybe the Abominus is to me. But I figure, like, screw it. I went in on Abominus. I'll do both. And I got them both from Robot Kingdom. It was my first time ever ordering through them because they were already released over there. Thinking, oh man, I'm going to get them like super early. It's going to be great. The Hong Kong post office has no idea where my stuff is. So it's been over a month. It's really cool.
Yeah, they're good at making sure that you get your product. Like, they package really well. At least the last time I've ordered from them, they package really well. It takes forever for it to get.
Yeah, they told me like 2
I don't
weeks.
know why.
Like,
Yeah,
okay.
it's just them. They got to be flagged or something. I don't know if it's what the deal, whatever area they're actually shipping out of in Hong Kong. They got to be flagged for something because they get like almost custom inspected all the time.
That must be what's going on right now because apparently it hasn't left Hong Kong yet.
Yeah. Well, I've had
like,
my
April
packages
21st.
opened and then repackaged by customs. So
What the
I don't
heck?
know. It's just
I'll get them one day, maybe.
But anyway, so Fire Talks, where can they find you, and what are the safest places on the internet to find you?
Well, you'll see me around on YouTube, at least in the chats usually. Easiest way to find me on YouTube, if you actually want to see the like 6 videos on there, is search my name and then correct YouTube because it thinks I'm Firefox. Correct it. Scroll down, you'll see my logo and over there. But really, the best places to find me is either at the Facebook page, which is 3DP Transformers, Instagram Fire Talks Designs. I have a Fire Talks Patreon. Since everything I offer out is for free, it just kind of helps keep this stuff running. Or you can email me at firetalksdesigns@gmail.com.
Sweet. All right. Well,
You do all that
and then
stuff for
get
free?
You didn't know
Say
all my
again, Dan?
designs are free.
No, I forget that. Yeah, no, man. Like you gotta get that $5 subscription.
Well, he's offering.
Mine are
You
$1.
offer the actual designs, but like not like you're not printing them out for people, right?
No,
Right. Well, I
Other than-
print them for people if they don't have the ability.
Yeah.
I will print stuff for people. and
Wow.
I keep it super fair. Like I'm not Shapeways. I'm not charging you $40 for this sword.
Wow.
I keep it fair for my time, but all the designs and stuff are free. And if you've got a 3D printer or you've got a library that's got a 3D printer, you can have
And
everything.
you
I
make them
design.
all by yourself. Like you design the swords.
Oh yeah, all of it.
Wow.
All of
that's
it's
amazing,
original made.
dude. Jesus. Yeah, I tried to
Or-
look up everyone's channel. I couldn't find a YouTube channel, but when I saw the stuff you're selling, I was like, that's crazy.
So if I get like 22 more people, I think, to subscribe to my channel, it'll let me change my user or my URL. Right now, it's stuck to like my personal YouTube for as long as I've had a YouTube
Mm.
because I didn't
Yeah.
change that. I moved everything.
I think what might help is, you know, after this uploads, and like right now it's streaming on YouTube, but once it uploads and everything, and there's a comment section available, that everybody that was, you know, in here to find FireTalks' comment and then just go ahead and just click on that page to go view it. That may help out a lot right there.
Heck yeah, because I couldn't find
And
it.
everybody else in here too: Beastio Yeti, Danny
Yep.
Dolphin, TF Collector, Ninja Bill 1000, and then myself as the host of Crimson Raptors. Again, that's at Crimson, like the dark red color. Raptors, RAPTORS. Find me on YouTube, on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. You can also find all of our affiliates and members via our website on tfreviewers.wordpress.com. So do not forget to follow our social media and subscribe to our YouTube channels to support everyone here and the content creators. You can also find all aspects of our work and affiliates below in the description, but that'll also be also on the Discord link that's for the Transformer reviewers as well. And Facebook is facebook.com/TF, so that's Transformers. TF Reviewers 1. Instagram is instagram.com/TF Reviewers. And Twitter is the same thing. Guess what? It's twitter.com/TF Reviewers. And YouTube, what you're looking at right now, is youtube.com/guess what? TF Reviewers. So that's where you can find all of us
You
at.
can't find
And the
this
link
anymore
in the
now. You have a
description
problem.
below. Exactly. If you don't know who the TF
Right.
Reviewers are, what are you doing here? And welcome. So, but we appreciate everybody that was able to join in. We appreciate everybody that was here for the live chat, and we appreciate everybody that will comment afterwards as well when they're watching it or listening to it. So definitely, everybody say bye, wave,
Bye.
bye,
Bye.
adios.
Oh, toodle pip.
I can't hit the end stream. Anthony has to do that.